All right, let's head on over to the East Coast with the most action going on tonight. Let's chat a little bit about Orlando Pride versus North Carolina Courage. This one you could catch on Paramount Plus, kicking off at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm excited for this one, Lisa. I have this game listed on my Challenge Cup preview as the under the radar match.
Oh, I like that.
When I was looking at the slate of games for today, I was like, okay, like let's break these down. Like let me give folks one biggest match to keep an eye on, and maybe one that they might not think I'm gonna tune into this one, right? Because that's the other thing about this. With the 5 games, there's alternating kickoffs, maybe about half an hour from each other. But I think this is a match that can maybe produce some highlights here. When it comes to the Pride and the Courage, they have produced some interesting soccer between each other. Let's just say that. And I think when we're looking at the regular season at this moment, maybe you look at that, the stats on paper, and you say, Sandra, how is the last place Orlando Pride team and the 10th place North Carolina team going to be the surprise game? Well, it's because I think of the individual performances that we might see. We're already talking about Challenge Cup as this competition where coaches and players might try to utilize it for different looks and to try some stuff. And I think this is a game where we can see that. I'm also really excited to see the possible Brazilian matchups that we might see.
Yes.
There's Caroline for North Carolina Courage. We've got Marta for Orlando Pride. I don't know if we're going to see someone like Marta have that kind of quick turnaround and get the start. Maybe she can feature as an off the bench role. She's someone working back into form as well, but we're also looking at Adriana for Orlando Pride, who is starting to, I think, kind of fit in a little bit in terms of what Seb Hines is trying to build with this Orlando Pride team. So this is my under the radar match. I think we might get to see some exciting goals in this game, and I hope that we do. And I'm going to go with a draw between these two teams for Challenge Cup to kick off the Eastern matchup. What do you got, Lisa?
Stole that right out from under me. Yeah, I'm also thinking this one is going to be a draw. You mentioned goals. I would love to see goals like a 2-2 draw. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm not sure that's going to happen though. I think that this could end in a scoreless draw. I think that yes, there's a lot of exciting Brazilian international powerhouse that we could see on this one. But I just think that each team has, both North Carolina and Orlando have struggled in the regular season scoring goals and finding the back of the net. They really have. Only North Carolina's 2 goals coming from the penalty kick spot. 2 most recent goals coming from the penalty spot and 1 from Guile to start the regular season. And Orlando has 1 coming from Messiah Bright in their game against Angel City. Otherwise, they have struggled to find the back of the net. And because of that, and I think the defensive battle that this is going to take between the two sides, I just don't think that in Orlando, this game is going to be anything different than what we've seen. I like that you're calling it an exciting match, and I do think it will be. I mean, 0-0 draws are not indicative at all of the competition on the pitch. Frankly, I think it will be an exciting game. I think it'll be really good to see the skill, as you mentioned, from Caroline, Adriana, Marta, what they do. But Messiah Bright, I want this player to have a breakout year. And if that happens in the Challenge Cup and not the regular season, I'm totally okay with that. But I want Bright to get a bit of confidence under herself and finding the back of the net or finding opportunities to score or putting herself in those positive positions. So I'm hoping that comes for Bright tonight. But yeah, I'm going to go with the draw as well, but low scoring, 0-0.
I feel that I respect the energy around that, and I love that you mentioned how the 0-0 might not be indicative of some of the play that we see between them. I think there's something to be said about two teams who are kind of going through that rebuild, and now they're going to get a chance to go head to head, and it's going to be in a tournament format where it's like try some stuff. Let's see where we're at in this early phase of the rebuild, and I'm with you. I think maybe some of the newer faces to NWSL could be the players that introduce us to some cool highlights in a match like this. Let's make a pick for the other East region game this week. It's going to be New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC versus Washington Spirits. This one is also kicking off on Paramount Plus at 7:30 p.m. When we're looking at these two teams, Lisa, they've got some histories against each other. Does that sway you one way or the other? Who are you picking in this one and why?
So you said that you thought, who did we just talk about? Orlando, North Carolina was going to be your game to watch. This is my game to watch. Gotham versus Washington. I think that the battle between these two sides is going to be really good. It's happening at Gotham, so they're hosting at Red Bull Arena, bringing in the Washington Spirit. Trinity Rodman listed as out for Washington Spirit, even if she was questionable. I imagine she wouldn't be playing anyway. It's an excused absence, so she's not available of her selection for Mark Parsons and the Spirit. But between these two sides, when you look at kind of what Gotham has done this season, they're coming off a big win in the regular season. Now, how does it change for the Challenge Cup? Are we going to see different players in different positions? I imagine we'll see a bit of rotation. Maybe in the midfield, the players that usually come off the bench, they'll end up getting starts in the midfield for Juan Carlos Amoros. I'm looking at like a McCall Zerboni. I think Sinead Farley might get start and minutes in this game, which I think could prove to be a really good Gotham side, right? Gotham is a team that's impressed me this year with what they can do on the pitch. However, Washington as well, they've got that prowess too. Now they're without Trinity Rodman, and I'm interested to see how they generate attack and how they generate off ball movement and deceptive runs without Rodman in there. She just adds so much to this group. And Ashley Sanchez, are we going to see significant minutes from her and Ashley Hatch and Andy Sullivan, or are we going to see a bit more rotation for Mark Parsons' side? And because of that, I'm going to go with Gotham getting the win at home over Washington in this one. I think that Trinity Rodman is just, she does so much for Washington, and without her, it's hard for them.
I feel you. I hear you. And I'm with you 100% of the way. No pun intended. Going with Midge Purse and Gotham FC in this match as well. I think for similar reasons, but for Midge Purse, who I think is going to have a significant role in a game like this. When we're looking at the week that both of these teams just had, we saw Purse come on in that Orlando Pride game in their regular season week 3 match as an off the bench option. So a different minutes for Purse going into a match week like this. Now, will she get the start or will she be asked to come off the bench again? That is TBD. But for Gotham, they've also got an excused absence with Amani Dorsey. So I think there's some room there in the attack to give some of the regulars or usual suspects an additional look in Challenge Cup. And I think without Trinity Rodman, I think that is a huge loss for this team. And perhaps Mark Parsons, one of those coaches that we have heard utilize, new players in this season, wanting to get looks and minutes for a lot of the fresh faces and new names on this Washington Spirit side, that this is the game where maybe we're going to utilize that. We just got to see some minutes from Chloe Ricketts. Will we continue to see some more in a midweek match? Who knows? Who knows? It's a school night. We will find out. We'll find out the availability for sure. But I just, with what Trinity Rodman has been providing for the Spirit, I just think that's a bigger absence than anything else for this team.
Yeah.
No one person makes or define things, for a team. There's no I in team, right? All that other funny cliche stuff. But there is an I in win, right? As Michael Jordan once said. And I think Trinity Rodman has been providing the I in win for Washington Spirit. So I just don't think with her absence, we're going to see some different looks for this Spirit side. So I'm going with Gotham FC as well. Do you think we're going to see a lot of goals in this one without a Rodman available?
No. I think we could see a couple goals from Gotham, though. I mean, as you talked about with Midge and kind of what they've got going for them up top. But no, I don't think so. Maybe one from Washington. I'll give them one. Throw them a bone at this point. But no, I think, we both think Gotham's going to win. And I think that Gotham's going to kind of take it to Washington, put a couple on the board.